fingerprint AI with your personal values. It's kind of a strange thing to talk about, but the reality of it is that we need to harness the power of artificial intelligence and have the opportunity for us as individuals to ensure that that AI doesn't do the world takeover like Terminator. They're going to come in and destroy planet Earth and take over and move humans aside. I'm not certain that would ever happen, except I do know this. AI is by far the most powerful tool that humanity has ever developed whatsoever, especially in the area of communication and knowledge. And it is so easy to sit down and take all that we are and push it aside and be lazy because of the fact that AI handles the whole thing. And we lose ourselves in a communication pattern. We lose ourselves in a decision-making pattern. It should be about us using the tool, not about the tool doing all the work. We need to be guiding it. We need to use our ethics to make certain that they're coming across and that we individualize every bit of communication and don't just crank out slop out there and assume that's good enough. There's too many people who don't follow through and identify who they are because of the fact that it takes work. AI is so simple. You push it, you sit down here, type even one sentence. You can actually develop an entire query on one sentence, and boom, you can crank out a 3 or 4 page document that's better researched than most humans could possibly think of. I don't know about you, but I have several different degrees and all this different background stuff, but every single time I use AI, it brings one thing that had been forgotten, that I maybe never even knew about in the fog of time, so to speak. But the reality of AI, it is so powerful, it has the capacity to overwhelm you with data, and sometimes we confuse data with us. And that is what this is about. We need to make certain that is us that is being reflected in the output of the AI, and we need to be in control, we need to be in charge of it, and we need to own it. That whole thing of sitting down, turning in papers, turning in communications, turning in emails just because AI wrote it, I'm sorry, that isn't enough, and it's not good enough for us as human beings to sit down there and sell our literal soul, our mind, will, and emotions, which is the fundamental part of our soul. We just give that over to AI and let it communicate us, and all of a sudden now people have this image that we're whatever AI is saying. When you look at the large language model, it's basically a programmer sitting down, guiding the direction of it, and also AI itself scraping the bottom too often of the internet, bringing up junk and debris off of Reddit, and all of a sudden now we have social media opinions guiding who we are and defining our values rather than us defining our own values. That is why this stage over here, putting our own fingerprint, this is your finger, putting it right on every single message that you do, then every single time you use artificial intelligence. Here are some values. A lot of times we don't know what our values are. We don't take the time out to say, well, I believe in this. It's kind of easy to sit down and get by with just letting everybody do this, but I have to tell you, there are some people out there that believe so strongly in a value that they're willing to die for it. If somebody put a gun to their head and says, you do this or else, no, it violates my values. And there are people who will sacrifice themselves for things that they deeply believe on the inside, and that should be reflected on the outside in our character. But especially the things that we believe in should be reflected in how we communicate, who we communicate to, and the methodology. Do you treat everybody with dignity and respect, or do you believe that these people over here have a higher class and purpose than everybody else on planet Earth? Well, this depends upon your value system, but a lot of us don't take time out to define our values in our personal lives or our family lives, but in this case, this is all about business. What about our business values, and what do people want to look at? Here are 25 different values, and by the time I'm done with this, I hope you start having in your mind that I believe in this. There's at least 3 to 5 of these that you should own and include in your value system. And also then from that point forward, we'll do part 2 on artificial intelligence. Take those values and include them in every single query that you have in artificial intelligence in some way, and making certain it's come across that AI will be taking your values and applying them as your own personal fingerprint into the answers it generates, into the communication it generates, into the papers it generates, and into the direction of the research that it develops. It's a fabulous tool, but it is just a tool, and it has not yet surpassed humanity. And by the way, even if the knowledge base and the personality surpasses us, it doesn't mean we should allow it to define us. We should define us with our own personal fingerprint. Here's 5 of them. I am not going to read these to you. They're pretty self-explanatory, but I'll let you read these on your own. But honesty. Are you honest? If you aren't, maybe you need to work on that. But here, honesty. Do you have integrity? Do you do the right thing when nobody's looking? Are you accountable? If you do something, do you own it? Or do you blame somebody else? Reliability. Can people count on you to actually do something that you say you're going to do? Do you follow through? Do you finish what you start and deliver on promises? And you know what? Sometimes life interferes on this particular one, and you can't do everything you wanted to do. You need to go back and tell them, I tried this and it didn't work because, and tell them the reason why. Look on the different aspects of respect. Do you respect other people for who they are? Do you view them as a God-given creation, unique in every single aspect, no matter what their field, no matter what their walk of life is? Do you respect them as an individual? Are you transparent? Do you share information openly, or are you a Machiavellian and hoard it back on a regular basis and only divvy it out as you deem appropriate? Are you fair? Do you make an attempt to be fair with other people? Are you loyal? If somebody is climbing the corporate ladder and they've been supporting you, and all of a sudden things turn and they slide down that ladder, are you loyal to that person? We're not talking about political aspects of it, but are you loyal to them as an individual? Do you stand by your team? Is that part of your values? And then stewardship. Do you handle different resources responsibly? People would look at you in the process. On service, do you put others first or yourself first? Humility. Do you learn from others without ego? Do you acknowledge your own limitations? Do you have courage? Do you speak up when you see something being done wrong? Do you act ethically? Would you actually sit down and help somebody, go out of your way to help them, even though it may damage you in the process? Are you consistent? Do you apply the values to all situations? Are you the same person on Monday that you are on Tuesday? I've seen that on a regular basis where somebody, that's why people are so complex. I kind of enjoy that because you don't know who they are. On Monday, they could be one person, and Tuesday could be a different person. Yes. And they're not just Geminis or multiple different people out there. Do you express gratitude, appreciation for others? Are you disciplined? Do you sit down there and do the same things? Can people depend on you to be at work at a certain time? Can they depend upon you to do the things you say you're going to do? Are you punctual? Do you finish things on time? And if something conflicts with that, are you sitting there telling people that there's a reason why it happens? Are you responsible? Do you take initiative? Are you dependable in your duties? Would people view you as wielding the value of justice, that you're a fair person and you listen to everybody before you make a decision? Do you have a sense of empathy where you consider other people's perspectives, emotional experiences? Do you have prudence? Are you balancing the risk and reward and making a good decision as you weigh things out? Are you generous? Do you share resources and knowledge? Do you believe there's a concept called honor? And if so, are you living according to reputation that you believe would be worthy of honor? Are you trustworthy? Do you build confidence through your behavior that proves you're worth other people's trust? And then are you committed and stay true to your principles? Here's 25 different business values, and I urge you right now, we'll have exercises in class, but I want you to think about the aspect of which 3 or 5 values do I hold? Not that I hold, but help define me as an individual. And sometimes you may fall short of your actual values, and you need to sit down and listen to people if they ever have commentary and try to make yourself a better person. We have different versions of ourselves, and I hope that you in the business world bring your best version to yourself every single opportunity you have. So reflection exercise, choose 3 to 5 of these values that resonate the most with you, and then describe why they would matter to you with 2 or 3 sentences. Then go through, do they show up in your decisions, your relationships? Would somebody recognize these values that you believe you have and that you believe you support? And apply your values to artificial intelligence queries. Keep them in there. Literally, you're better off creating the sentence and put it into your query. I am so-and-so, and here's are some personal values I'd like to be reflected in every single communication you have with me. The problem is you may forget to put it in. Have a standard shtick, so to speak, that you put in every single communication. Here's some values that I believe are really important. I have to tell you, almost all AIs will respect what you're saying, and they'll talk about that. So have a value-informed query and make certain the difference that it makes in the process that you all have out there. Practice prompting with values. Prompting, how you go about prompting, how you develop queries is a big deal. Artificial intelligence is a huge, super powerful machine, and almost all the platforms are brilliant beyond that of a human ability to retain knowledge. They have scraped almost all the databases, but unfortunately, too much opinion and slop research has gone its way out there, and sometimes they will compromise on it. And AI does not want to challenge you, and it doesn't want to sit there and say, yo, pay attention. You aren't paying attention. They will not do that. They will not try to correct you. They will try to sit down there and fulfill your needs in every nice way they possibly can, including even lying to you. If you pay attention, AI does not always tell you the truth. They tell you what you want to hear. They make a really good salesperson in the process. Identify the decision or question when you're practicing with your prompts and your queries. Select the relevant values you have. Choose them that are part of your fingerprint, especially for that topic. Frame your prompt explicitly, and then review and refine your responses. There's a practice exercise right there for you. Pay attention to what you're doing. This is really big. Fingerprint AI for your use, because you are the ethical guardian for all your queries, and you can't blame, well, AI said that for me. I'm sorry, that doesn't cut it. If you're a human, act like a human, take responsibility for it, and you be in charge of the AI and all of the output that it generates. Filter the responses, make certain that sometimes the first response isn't adequate to what you want, and you need to refine your queries in the process as well. So always do that. Customize and adapt. Don't have the same old shtick that you have out there. Change your wording if necessary, but make sure you have that. Iterate and improve on all your different aspects in AI usage. AI is great when you use it, but make certain you're using it in a way that's appropriate, acceptable, and is a reflection on you. Your next steps: complete the worksheet, and then pay attention to the examples we have in class discussion. Review rewriting your AI queries, and then make certain you use your ethical footprint in the process. Take care.